Well, welcome in everybody to our live Q&A with GHUTV. I'm going to say that one more time as I am trying to connect Instagram over here. Oh, I'm not now live. Welcome, Instagram. This is our live Q&A with GHUTV. We do it monthly. My name is Chris Freytag. I'm the founder of GHUTV, and this is Samantha Cameronese, otherwise known as Sam Cam.
Yeah.
One of our trainers, also our digital content manager. And we try to come live, hi everybody, once a month to answer questions. We usually pick a theme.
Yep.
We try to, theme it up. So if you are interested in anything that we've done in the past, please go to GetHealthyUTV.com. Click on
it'll be at the free videos.
Under free videos, and you'll see a live Q&A.
Yep.
We've got like 10, 20 old ones where we've talked about form, we've talked about all different kinds of movement. We've talked about, when I say form, I mean exercise form. Mm-hmm. And today, we've had some other trainers on there, which it's been really fun, but today is all about nutrition. Happy New Year, everybody. 2020, all right? So it's a new year, but it's also a new decade. And if there's any better time to start a new routine, it's now. And nutrition is so top of mind for so many people because it is literally, and you guys know how much I love movement, but it is literally 80% of the equation.
Yep.
You can't outrun a bad diet. They always say that you can't outtrain a bad diet. So let's get right into it. We've already had so many questions pre-asked.
Yep.
So we know this is a hot topic for all of you. Those of you on Instagram, I'm going to be kind of looking here as best as I can. I see people joining, and I will answer your questions as we go along too. But let's get right into it, Sam Cam,
all right,
and see what people are talking about, because there's a lot to talk about.
There is a lot, and then don't feel afraid to ask any other questions. We'll kind of answer those along the way.
We'll answer questions along the way. Yeah, we're not just answering the pre-asked questions. And by the way, stick with us. If you don't know what Get Healthy U TV is, U, the letter U, then I'm going to tell you all about it, because it is our membership subscription website. We have over 250 workouts. I'm going to talk about a big event we have coming up in about 15 minutes, so stay with us.
Awesome. All right, we'll dive right into it. What are your thoughts on air fryers?
That's an interesting question. That's something I talked about on Instagram the other day. I don't have an air fryer yet. I think they're amazing. I think they're awesome. I think any kitchen tool that helps you cook healthier and tastier is awesome. Because let's face it, people don't like cardboard. People don't like vegetables that have been steamed to mush. I mean, do things that give you flavor. You have an air fryer.
I do, and I absolutely love it. It's something that I use at least twice, 3, maybe 4 times a week. Especially if you're pressed for time. Like I put salmon in there one time thinking that it would be dried out, and it was perfect.
And potatoes.
Yeah,
and
sweet potatoes are my favorite.
The one thing I would say is I have a convection oven. So convection ovens, swirl the air and things get very crispy, and I've kind of just relied on that. But in the future.
Yep, it's a great tool. Okay, can you include coffee as your water intake, and is coffee bad for you?
Coffee is not bad for you. Coffee is liquid amazing. Coffee brings happiness. But everything in moderation. I mean, caffeine is something that a lot of people have to be very careful with. As I've gotten older, I used to drink coffee any time of day, and I mean any time of night too. Ooh. And now it's like, nope, I don't drink coffee at night or I can't sleep. But so be aware of your caffeine intake, but don't count it in your water. It's actually a diuretic. I mean, dehydrates you.
Yeah.
So in some ways, so don't use coffee as your water source. I think it's probably not a great habit to get into.
Awesome. We have somebody saying that she's a 50-year-old female and she weighs about 191 pounds. Her goal weight is 150. What should she focus on, cardio or strength?
Girlfriend, set those goals now. And that's, 40 pounds is 40 pounds. I mean, that's a lot of weight. When you look at 40 pounds on like a big turkey or something, you're like, holy cow, but you can get rid of it and you can do it. And it's just baby steps. I don't know what kind of shape you're in, but if you're saying, I haven't worked out in a long time, you want your joints and your body to get used to the activity that you're giving it, because, anything that you come out of the gates and do too much of, you end up sore. And so start with baby steps. Get some cardio. Cardiovascular activity will burn calories at a high rate, and it will help you. And you got to get a calorie deficit going with your diet. You're going to have what you take in has to be less than what you expend in order to lose weight. I mean, people, we're talking about nutrition, so let me point something out. Calories do matter. We've gotten to a point in America where people go, oh, forget it, calories don't matter. It's the type of calorie. Very, very true. There's 2 Qs when it comes to food: quantity and quality. all right? So all of you on Insta, are you listening? So quantity still matters. Don't discard calories. You can't eat 5,000 calories a day and only expend 3,000 and expect to lose weight.
Right.
It is a science equation. But the quality of your calories also matter. If you are, keeping your calories in check, but all you eat is sugar and M&Ms and Diet Coke, you're going to feel horrible. So take the two cues, the quantity of the food and the quality of the food, and then add in a little bit of exercise to get your joints used to it. Start some weightlifting to build muscle. I hope you're a Get Healthy UTV member. We have so many great workouts for you that you can work your way through. And I would say about our Facebook group, and I know if any of our Facebook groupies are on here, it's the most encouraging group I have ever belonged to in my life.
Yep.
And we have a whole ton of new members with the beginning of the new year, and I've seen so many people posting in the group like, hey, I'm on a weight loss journey, I've lost 10 pounds, or I've lost 50 pounds, or I've got 30 more to go, or whatever. And people are so encouraging and helpful. It is seriously like free motivation.
Life-changing, yeah. Awesome. Okay, is anyone doing intermittent fasting, and is this really the best route to go for losing fat?
Okay, intermittent fasting, my friends, otherwise known as IF, is totally trendy right now, and it works. But here's the thing, there are so many different types of intermittent fasting. You have to decide how it works for you. I don't like to call what I do intermittent fasting. I don't like the word fasting because honestly, I hate being super hungry. When I am super hungry, I'm so irritable. My brain doesn't think clearly. I don't like it. But there's different timing. There's some intermittent fasting where you go 18 hours without eating. Or I've seen some fasting programs where you fast for a full day once a week or something. Like that would never happen for me. Because when I'm exercising, there's no possible way I'm going to not eat for 24 hours. I would have no energy.
No energy, right. So
decide what works for you. But the concept of intermittent fasting is that you go for a period of time without food and often it just happens naturally. So this is what I say for me. I don't intermittent fast, but I naturally have a fasting time on most weekdays from about 7 p.m. at night when I stop eating till about 7 p.m. in the morning when I have my breakfast. So I usually have about a 12-hour fasting situation. Now on the weekends, I eat dinner a lot later. We might go out to eat, and I might not eat till 9 o'clock at night or something. If a weekday something comes up where I go out and I eat later, that's fine. I'm not going to lose my mind over it. But on a regular basis, I do kind of go for about a 12-hour time without food, and I do like the way it makes me feel. But it's not an intermittent fasting program. Throughout the day, then I eat my meals. Something I was going to tell you is the reason why trainers and dietitians and everybody tell you not to eat at night is because that's when people are the most vulnerable. That's when people have the most trouble at night, when they let their guard down, they come home from a hard day of work. We live in an area where it's super dark at night in the winter. You put on your cozy clothes, and the next thing you know, you're munching, and it's very easy to comfort yourself with food, myself included. So if your trainer tells you don't eat after 7 p.m., it's going to really help you if you adhere to the rules. It's going to help your trainer help you lose weight. Does that make sense? So do what you want to do. I've never been, a huge fan of special diets and special fasting programs, and it's kind of live your life. I like to have fun. I'm not going to not do something super fun because it doesn't fit in my diet plan.
Right. I mean, you always talk about how it needs to be something that is maintainable. And if you make these, really big changes or, cut out sugar forever, right, it's not going to be hard, or it's not going to be easy to maintain. So it's got to fit your lifestyle.
Right. And do you do kind of the same thing?
Same thing. I do really. I mean, sometimes I have to eat dinner a little bit later, depending on when I get home. But I try to stop.
And then you just stop, and then you don't eat till breakfast.
Yeah.
Actually, if you go to Instagram today, hi Instagrammers, I wrote down my morning routine today.
You did?
Yeah. So I kind of gave you a little bit of idea of what I do when I get up at 4:30 in the morning till I eat breakfast, usually at about 8.
Yep. Yeah, I kind of do the same thing.
Hey, someone's just asking on Instagram. Let me see. I can't see without glasses. The pink weights you've been using in your sessions, what pounds are they? They are 12 pounders. The pink weights are 12 pounders. We get all of our weights from Spry Products, SPRI.com. If you are a Get Healthy UTV member, in your dashboard, you have a coupon to purchase products from Spry Products. So whatever, if you're a new member and you're like, okay, I want to get a couple weights, I want to get a mat, whatever, put it all together, bundle it together, and use your one-time coupon to get 20% off your order.
Awesome. questions are rolling in. So we have somebody asking, I have been eating vegan, but having a hard time trying not to eat too many carbs. She is a menopausal 57-year-old.
Yeah, okay. Because as a vegan, you have to work so hard that sometimes the easy way out is just carbs, right? My daughter was a vegan for 4 years, and I learned so much, and we cooked so much amazing vegan food, but it definitely took us time. And then, of course, then she moved to vegetarianism because she is a dancer, and she was just really struggling to get enough protein. We're going to talk about protein here in a minute.
Yep.
But so she now does do eggs, and she sometimes will do fish if she's in a situation where she needs to. And she does do dairy. She will do some cheese and stuff because she wasn't doing that, obviously, as a vegan. But veganism is, it's a great way of life. There's so many good cookbooks out there. I would definitely Google a vegan cookbook because you're going to come up with some amazing recipes. I can't believe the things we baked without animal products.
Yeah.
Amazing. But you don't have to use white flour. You don't have to, use almond flour, ground almond meal, or use, our oat flour, or there's all these different kinds of flours. But also get smarter, eat more fruits and vegetables, eat more plant-based foods as a vegan. You can really fill yourself up. And I love, like, sweet potatoes and white potatoes. They fill you up, and they are not your enemy. I eat one every freaking day of the year. How about you?
Yep, same thing.
Every day I eat a banana and a sweet potato, and I have not gained weight, people.
That's a secret sauce.
That's what athletes eat. Don't be afraid of it. But really get more into your plant-based items. There's so many good plant foods and so many amazing herbs and spices to cook with that really beef it up.
Absolutely.
And so many meatless type of products that you can turn in, like you can take garbanzo beans and make them into more of like a meat type of like a meatball or something like that. There's a lot of ways to do it. So you got to get away from all those just easy processed carbs.
We have somebody on here that says she's almost 50 and it's a struggle to lose weight. She is now up to 162 pounds and would like to be at least 150.
Okay.
She said she feels like she eats pretty healthy, but nothing is working. Can you please help?
Okay, so the definition of insanity is if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting. So when I talk to people who say, like, I'm stuck, I'm at a roadblock, I'm like, okay, what are we changing? What are we changing? Because you can't keep doing what you're doing. It's obviously not helping. So do you need more movement in your body? I don't know you, but 2.5 hours of cardio a week is those are the guidelines set by the government. I don't know why the government sets the guidelines, but I do like that guideline of 2.5 hours of cardio throughout the week at some point. Get your heart pumping. 2 strength training sessions at least a week, somewhere in there. That's going to make such a difference in your calorie deficit. I always tell people the difference between not exercising and exercising is the 10-pound weight gain in your 50s every year, because you're not deficiting the calories. What are you eating? I don't know. But if you're eating more plant-based foods, you're going to have less calories naturally. Yeah. If you are taking in fruits and vegetables, they literally, finally, Weight Watchers, finally, and I love Weight Watchers because I think it's the most reasonable of a diet. If I was going to love a diet, that would be the one. Yeah. But they used to give points to fruits and vegetables, and I mean, literally, like, I just went crazy because I'm like, do not give points to the most healthy, low-calorie foods out there. Like, let people eat them with abandon freedom. And now they've taken all the points away. There are no points for fruits and vegetables. You can eat a banana, and it ain't no points. So, get more focused on your diet, but you got to change something. I mean, something isn't working, and you got to jumpstart it. And I don't know how, did she say how old she was?
She said she was 50.
Okay, so menopause is just a nightmare for many people, and it does kind of play a game, on your middle weight gain and on your metabolism, but you can beat it. You can't let your mindset go, well, woe is me, I'm in menopause, so, oh, well, it sucks. No, you got to say, like, I'm in menopause, and I'm going to even try harder to figure out what it is that makes me feel good. And I definitely play around with making sure, what do I need to help me sleep a little better and what makes my stomach feel good. And if you are new to vegetables, it's going to be hard at first because a lot of people, when they start with vegetables, they get like a ton of stomach problems and gas.
I was going to say stomach problems.
And because like it's so hard on my stomach, but you got to get used to it because, I mean, seriously, I could eat a head of cauliflower and I feel great. Someone just said to me, I wish you were back on QVC. It's been like 6 years since I've been on QVC. I loved QVC. But the travel back and forth was so hard.
Another thing too is like if you aren't somebody that works out a lot right away, like Shout out to my mom, love her. But she came to your live class on Sunday and she is finally not sore today.
Yeah, it was hard.
And I keep telling her, I'm like, you just have to keep doing it, because she's like, I don't know how you do this every day. I'm like, well, Mom, because I do it every day, I'm not sore every single time I work out. There are definitely those workouts, but.
And everybody out there, I'm going to tell you right now, if you are new to exercise, the absolute most important thing you can do is baby steps.
Yeah.
Everybody hates feeling horrible or sore or getting injured. You need to allow your joints in your body to acclimate. So give yourself some grace and start, with small wins where, I exercised twice last week. I walked 10 minutes every single day. Now the next week I'm going to walk 15 minutes and I'm going to do a 10-minute strength workout. Just ease into it.
Ease into it, yep. Tina has asked, any go-to easy, healthy dinner recipes that are vegetable-based? She said she finds it hard to find vegetables as your main portion of the meal that's delicious and healthy.
So I love roasted vegetables. I know you do too. You use your air fryer. I use my convection oven. I will chop up any vegetables. I will put broccoli and Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts take a little longer, so sometimes I put those in alone and then add the other stuff. But carrots, asparagus, I throw in potato chunks. I'll throw in, I love cauliflower, so I'll throw in pieces of cauliflower.
I've been adding those in there too lately.
Carrots. Do really well.
Broccoli,
yep. You're not going to put cucumbers or something, that'll get mushy.
No.
But zucchinis can roast.
Yep.
And I just make roasted veggies every week. I just make a ton of roasted veggies, get them kind of crispy. And then it depends on if you're in a hurry. You could just prep them and roast them every night if you like them really freshly roasted. But if you want to pre-roast them all and then sadly microwave them heat them back up, that works too. And so I make a big plate of vegetables, roasted veggies, especially in the winter. In the summer I do more salads because I like the cold, but in the winter I like that warm meal.
I do too.
Put all the roasted veggies, roasted potatoes, and then I'll add things like garbanzo beans, black beans on top. I'll throw just throw some beans on top, and then add a protein source, whether it's a scrambled egg, and I just throw that in there. Or some quinoa, or add in some chicken chunks, or whatever it is I might have left over that I grilled up on the weekend. I'll throw that in there. And it's almost like, we were talking about this the other day, Buddha bowls. So we have an article on gethealthyu.com about Buddha bowls. We're talking the word Buddha, like a Buddha, what do you call those things? It's a Buddha. Yoga Buddha. They named it a Buddha bowl, but what it is, it's where you take a grain, you take a protein source, and then you add in all different kinds of vegetables and a sauce. I love peanut sauce. You can't eat nuts, I know.
I can't, but I just throw in avocado and kind of mash it in there, and it's great.
It's great. And I was going to say, so peanut sauce, my family loves it. We love the spicy peanut sauce. But you could throw on a red sauce, like a Italian red sauce. You could add a little hummus or a little guacamole or a little avocado and just give it some flavor in there. Harissa, what is that? That's like a seasoning that is amazing. So you can try a bunch of different things, but you just have to shop at the grocery store. That's the bottom line. So you got to go buy all these veggies.
Yep, absolutely. And when I go, I typically do all my stuff on Sunday, and I kind of meal prep there, especially when I'm having a busy week. But I lay out my what I'm going to buy that week, what I need, and I just check it off the list as I go. It just makes it easier when you're at the grocery store. All right, one of your favorite questions.
Okay.
Thoughts on keto?
Keto. Okay, so keto's been very trendy. I just heard from a few dietitians that keto's going to be going, not going to be quite as popular anymore. But keto is all about fats, okay? Eating a lot of fat to get your body into ketosis, which is where your body will supposedly use the stored fat as fuel. And it takes a little while to get there. And a lot of people love it, and they see results with losing weight. There are a bunch of famous diets that were keto, like Atkins at first was a keto diet. It was eat bacon and eat meat and do all that, but don't eat a banana. And so I just felt like there was something fundamentally wrong with telling people they can't eat bananas, yet they should eat a big pound of bacon. That just doesn't sound right to me. That doesn't mean it doesn't work. I mean, ketosis is a real thing. The problem for people with keto is they go keto, and they'll be keto for 5 days of the week, and then on the weekend, they're not keto. And they have pizza, and they have beer. Hold on. Hold on.
Breathe.
How am I choking? Okay, talk for a second. I gotta.
So yeah, as she's saying, on the weekends, you kind of fall off the wagon a little bit and you go and eat all like the pizza or whatever you want, and then you kind of fall out of that ketosis. And so you kind of got to get yourself back. And when you kind of keep throwing yourself on and off.
I think I got so excited that I took
She did get excited.
air down the front tube. Oh my gosh. But you come out of ketosis on the weekend, now you're screwing your body way up.
Yep.
Because now you're storing fat as fuel. It's just a mess. So you're either all keto or you aren't.
Or you aren't, yep.
And paleo is another diet that people tend to do, but there's no beans or legumes on paleo, so I would never be paleo because I'm not giving up hummus. I'm not giving up some of my favorite things. So if it works for your lifestyle, do it. It doesn't work for my lifestyle. I don't like the way I feel when I'm eating too much fat. I love fat, but not, just not that much.
Not that's a big portion of it. Totally agree with you.
Sorry, everybody. Thank goodness for water.
I think she's gonna live. Let's talk about your favorite and most easy lunch ideas that you have.
Okay. Meal prep is like the two magic words, because if I have to sit there and make lunch, I just don't, we don't have time. We're so busy, and a lot of times we bring our lunch with us to our co-working space. Mm-hmm. So I meal prep my veggies. I meal prep quinoa. I meal prep, protein of some sort. I do eat meat, so I'll eat, I'll do chicken, I'll do turkey, I'll do fish. I'm not a big red meat eater, but my husband and my boys are, so sometimes I'll have red meat or pork. So I'll put it all together, and really like a Buddha bowl is my favorite thing at this time of the year. Or half green, half grains, or a salad. So I just have all that stuff in my refrigerator, and I can literally make lunch for myself like I did today in about 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and I can eat it in about 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah. I always have sweet potatoes. I always have sweet potatoes roasted.
I do too.
I'm obsessed. And so I always have those ready to go. But if I don't, I will quickly microwave one. We eat out, I don't know, I would say we don't eat out lunch very often.
No. And if we do, it's crisp and green.
It's salad. It's shout out to our favorite crisp and green.
Yep.
But I love soups at this time of year too. I love soup. And that's a great way to get in some good nutrition too.
Yeah, I typically just stick with, the Buddha bowls or salad, stuff like that. If it's not a salad, sometimes I'll pre-cook like chicken and do some sort of veggie and sweet potatoes, always.
So I'd like to right now, as we're getting into this, you guys, I want to talk about macros.
Yeah.
Because we've had a lot of questions about macros, and I think we're having a nutrition discussion today. It's something that you need to really understand. So macronutrients are proteins, fats, and carbs.
Yep.
Okay, those are the three macronutrients, and of course water is always necessary for life. But you've got the three macronutrients. Within your macronutrients are your micronutrients, okay? Those are your vitamins and minerals and your antioxidants. Those are in your macronutrients. Back to diets, because people are asking keto, and do you do this, and do you do that? If you are getting a good mix of macros, macronutrients, carbs, fats, and proteins, you are getting a good mix of micronutrients, because the world is a pretty amazing place, right? And food is pretty amazing. And if you're getting a mixture of different fruits and vegetables and grains, and if you eat animal protein or plant-based proteins or whatever, you should be getting all your micronutrients. So when people ask me about macros, like, do you supplement? I'm like, food first is always my idea. So if I'm eating a good mix of foods, I'm not missing out on any of my micronutrients. However, if you can't eat nuts, like you don't eat nuts because you're allergic, right?
Yep.
There are people who don't eat dairy or don't eat, certain things because of either religion or social reasons or allergies or whatever it might be. Then you need to pay attention to what you might be missing in your diet, and maybe then you supplement it.
Yep.
I'll use an example like vitamin D. In Minnesota, we just don't get vitamin D. There are some vitamin D fortified foods, but vitamin D is primarily from the sun. And maybe 10 seconds of sun a week in Minnesota.
10 seconds.
10 seconds running from my car. So we don't get sun. So vitamin D, I use a supplement in the wintertime. But in the summertime, I don't take a vitamin D supplement because I've had my D levels checked. I mean, I'm good in the summer.
Yep.
Fish, I eat a lot of fish, which are your omega-3s. All right, so in the summertime, I'm eating a lot of seafood, and I never supplement. But in the winter, I don't necessarily cook fish as much, so I will take an omega-3 supplement because I'm not getting those micronutrients in my diet at this time of year. But it's really important when people say, well, how many carbs should I eat? How many proteins should I eat? How many fats should I eat? Some people get into counting their macros. But it's kind of an interesting way of thinking of your daily diet as opposed to just saying calories, like I'm eating 2,000 calories. You could look at your diet and say, I'm going to eat this many carbohydrates, like 200 grams of carbohydrates and, 70 grams of protein and blah, blah, blah. And that's another way to think about food, which I personally really like. But what you need to do is decide what works, the macro split that works for your lifestyle, your culture, your way of living. So for me, I tend to eat about 50% carbohydrates a day because I eat mostly fruits and vegetables and plant-based products, which are carbs mostly. And then I eat about 25% protein and 25% fat. That's what works for me. That's what makes my body feel good. We were just talking about how you kind of come into knowing what works. Yep. But I know people who eat more carbs than I do. I know people who eat less carbs than I do. You just have to look at it. But we do, if you go to gethealthyu.com, and Sam will eventually, maybe we'll put it on Facebook.
Yeah, we'll put it up there. Yep.
We have an article called Beginner's Guide to Counting Macros. And so if you want to learn, like, how do you know how many carbs you should have and how do you divide it up? Like, for instance, when you talk about, I'm just getting to the counting here. Hold on. Okay, 1 gram of carbohydrate is 4 calories. So if I'm eating 2,000 calories a day, and I want to eat 1,000 of them as carbs, I take 1,000 divided by 4, and that gives me 250 grams of carbs for the day. So I could look at it that way and say, oh, okay, well, a banana has, 15, 20 grams of carbs. I'm just making this all up. But I could just count out my macros to know that I was staying in my split. So that's another way of thinking about it. Protein has, 1 gram of protein has 4 calories also, and fat has a few more calories. That's why they always say be careful with fat. Fat has 9 calories per gram. So you just have to think about it. But if you want to learn how to count macros, go to this article. We'll give you a link. It's on gethealthy.u.com. Just to help those of you out, Get Healthy U is a resource with all free articles. Everything on Get Healthy U is a free article. Get Healthy U TV is where you log in to work out with us. So you just have to differentiate. So I want to help you with that because people get so confused.
Yeah. And I think when you first start, there is definitely like MyFitnessPal on your phone.
It's a great place to track your macros.
And once you start getting the hang of it, then you really don't need to track it every day. It's eye-opening right away, and then you can kind of gauge like what you're eating, what it all equates to. So that's a great one to use if you're starting to track, and then you can just kind of throw that out the window because you have an idea of what split that is.
And also, I was going to say, if you have little kids, start now by educating them. When my kids were little, I would just, like, I sounded probably like a goofball, but like I'd be in the kitchen, I'd be like, peanut butter is protein. Like I would tell them, protein builds your muscles. I'd be like, this fruit is a carbohydrate. Carbohydrates give your brain energy. Like I would sit there and tell them all the time so that when they got older, they could like literally pick, like, I know what a fat is. I know what a carb is. I know what a protein is. I know that I need a mixture of all that to have a healthy meal, to feel satiated, to feel good, and have my energy levels be correct. And I would tell them, like, sugar, And one thing I want to point out to all of you, since we're talking nutrition, is added sugars are the problem. Added sugars. White flour turns to sugar in your system, so white processed flour and added sugars are your problems. Natural sugar is not your problem. You do not, if you are counting sugars along with your macros, you do not need to count the sugar in fruit. It is natural. It is combined with fiber and other micronutrients that is so good for you. And when it is combined with fiber, it is used slower in your system than, like, say, a bag of M&Ms. So definitely do not worry about natural sugars in your body. I mean, people are like, oh my God, I can't eat a banana. I mean, like, that would ruin my whole day. I'm like, why? Apples, berries, like all this, there's just so much good in there. So don't count that in your added sugars. And when it comes to added sugars, I think it's about 24 grams of added sugar a day is the recommended. Hey, guess what? It's so easy to go over that. It is so easy to go over that if you're not thinking about that. I mean, so let yourself have all the natural sugar that you want, but pay attention to added sugar. And white flour. Don't, breakfast cereal is the worst.
Can't tell you the last time I've had that.
I know. I love granola, but oops. Okay.
Going back to our talk about meal prep, when you meal prep for a week, do you put it in the freezer?
Sometimes it depends on what it is. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times for a week, no, I'm not a freak about leftovers. Like I know some people are like freaks about leftovers. I'm trying to think who. And my husband's gotten much better. It used to be like if it was 1 day old, he'd be like, nope, we're not eating it. And I grew up in a home where we had leftovers like forever.
All the time.
Like we'd have to say to my mom, like, that's growing fuzz. Can we throw that out? So Leftovers don't bug me.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you keep your produce covered properly, it'll last a good, like, Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday for sure. I mean, like, it might go on that Sunday. I can go probably Monday through Saturday, and then I'm like, okay,
and then I
gotta start over.
Me too. So that's why you don't overbuy. I mean, you have to be careful, like, when you go to a store, like, I mean, I'm a Costco member. I'm a card-carrying Costco member, and I love it. But, like, you have to be careful. Like, if you buy, like, all this stuff, it's going to go bad after 5 days. Yeah.
Going back to you talking about eating fish in the summer, what kind of fish do you like to eat?
I love saltwater fish. So I love salmon. Yeah. I love shrimp. I love scallops. I love that kind of. I really love shellfish, and I really love like that kind of fish, swordfish. That you have to be careful of mercury. I think swordfish might be the highest of them all. And I love tuna. I love tuna. I'm not like a big like whitefish or walleye kind of a person. Yep, I know it's Minnesota. Everyone loves their walleye. And I'm like, walleye? It doesn't taste like anything. But, you know, everybody's different. But that's what I like to eat.
Okay, there is a viewer asking, there's a diet going around where you only eat eggs and keto condiments.
What?
What are your thoughts about this, and will it nourish me enough throughout the day?
What are keto condiments? Like fatty condiments?
Yeah.
That sounds absolutely atrocious. Sounds like you're going to have horrible gas from eating eggs all day. I don't know. I love eggs, but not that much.
Not that much, no.
Anytime you eliminate a food group or you only eat one thing, you're in danger of not having the right micronutrients, the vitamins and minerals that are in an array and variety of food. So you would have to heavily supplement to make sure you're not missing out on something. To me, that just sounds like a nightmare. Plus, it's not something I could sustain.
Right.
I'm going out to eat this weekend. Like, what am I going to eat if I can only eat eggs? So I think you just have to really think about it. Someone is asking on Instagram about meatless ground protein. Is that what it says? Meatless ground protein? Yeah, like the Beyond Burger that is now at, I think it's at Burger King.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, and they're selling them at the grocery store and other places. My own kids love them. And my boys are like beef eaters, and they love those Beyond Meat burgers. You have to look. I've heard a little bit of criticism about some of the fillers and things that are in them.
I have
So I'd like to do some research on that company. I haven't paid a whole lot of attention to it, to be honest. But my daughter does love a lot of the vegetarian meats that are made. You have to be careful with soy. You got to make sure it's non-GMO soy, in my opinion. You got to be I don't eat soy, but if you are eating soy, make sure it's non-GMO.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we have a member asking, this is kind of a long one, so stay tuned. I put on a lot of weight when I was 26, but not from overeating. I barely ate anything back then.
Okay.
The more I gained, the longer I went without eating anything. Nothing worked. I've tried everything over the last 30 years, including tons of exercise. No doctor can find anything wrong with me, but obviously my body is not working. Do you have any suggestions on getting my body to start burning that fat?
Wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, again, this goes down to when I don't know you. So, like, you know, I always say when people tell me they're really exercising, are they really? Like, does that mean you're walking slow, or are you really doing like HIIT classes and sweating your butt off? Like, I don't know that. When people say they're really eating nothing, are you really eating nothing? That does kind of get, because sometimes people go, well, I don't eat anything, but I do eat potato chips and this and that. It's like, well, I don't know. So, but if you are saying that you are really careful and your diet is clean, it's fruits and vegetables and beans and legumes and healthy proteins and healthy fats, and if you are really moving where you're sweating and you're using your muscles and things aren't changing, I would go to a naturopath. Mm-hmm. That's what I would do, because maybe there's some hormone makeup off.
Yep.
Maybe there's something going on in your body that maybe you're allergic to that you shouldn't be taking in. And they can really help you find something going on in your body, because our bodies are incredibly amazing.
Yeah.
But that just sounds really off to me, especially if you're putting in the work, like,
working out.
Right. So I would definitely seek out a naturopath. I don't think a doctor is going to they don't get into that. They don't care. They're going to check your numbers. They're going to be like, you're okay.
Right.
The naturopath is going to help you dig deeper and peel away the layers of what might be going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. How soon after strength training should I get protein in ideally?
Perfect. And let's talk protein. That's a perfect time to talk protein. Okay, so when you work out, you break down your muscle fibers. So you're breaking down the muscle fiber, and then protein repairs and rebuilds and restores protein, okay, and helps to recover. Muscle helps to restore, rebuild, repair muscle. So protein doesn't make muscle. You don't just eat a steak and then get a bicep, okay? You got to do the work with your muscles. You got to break them down. Once you've broken them down, though, how soon should you get that protein in? There's kind of this window of opportunity. They call it the within 45 minutes after your workout. So they call that the window of opportunity, and it can go up to 2 hours after your workout, where your muscles are ready to receive that protein. So ultimately, if you could get some source of protein in within 45 minutes, that would be awesome, or within 2 hours. How much and what type is totally up to you. So you don't have to drink a protein shake. Like, I love protein shakes. That's what I eat after my workout. You and I kind of both do.
Yep.
Because that's my breakfast of choice.
Same.
So I will eat a protein shake after my workout in the morning, and I put in it whey protein, BiPro protein powder, which you guys know at GHUTV. We partner with BiPro all the time. We're going to talk about our 60-day start here in a second, just see who's on it. And they are sponsoring that challenge.
Yep.
And I love my clean whey protein. It doesn't hurt my stomach, nothing. I'll throw in berries. I'll throw in sometimes a banana. I'll throw in some nuts, seeds, chia seeds, blend it all up. Oh, I love it. Sometimes I throw avocado in there, whatever. It might be. But if you're going to eat a meal after a workout, so you're going to lunch, maybe you worked out and now you're going to go eat lunch, then you're going to get your protein in. Maybe you're going to eat breakfast right after your meal. If you are working out and you don't have a meal planned, and you're like, I'm not going to eat for another 4 hours, then it would be smart to supplement with something, whether it's a handful of nuts and seeds or an egg or a, I don't know, whatever you can pack as a snack, then you'd want to supplement. So protein. Protein is made of amino acids, and I already said protein doesn't make muscle, it repairs muscle. There are 20 amino acids that make up proteins, and 11 of them your body makes on its own. So 11 of the proteins, the non-essential, or 11 of the amino acids your body makes on its own, so you get them in. But there are 9 essential amino acids. They're called essential because they are essential through food. Your body does not make them, and the only way you get them is through food. And your body doesn't store protein, so you need to take them in every day, AKA back to the balanced diet. You got, if you're cutting out food groups, you're possibly going to cause some problems. So you got to get those essential amino acids in. Now, animal proteins, the reason why animal proteins are so great for repairing muscle is because they contain all 9 essential amino acids. They call it the perfect protein. They have all 9 of the ones you need. So if you eat some animal protein, you're going to get all 9. Plant-based foods don't have all 9. They might have a few here and a few there, but don't let it bother you. If you're about to eat a salad and you've got a mixture of stuff, I'm pretty sure I could say with confidence about 90% you're going to get all the amino acids in with your mixture of different greens and veggies and fruit or whatever you're taking in. So vegetarians get those 9 essential amino acids no matter what, typically without trouble. There is a grain that acts like an animal protein. Quinoa acts like an animal protein, which is why it's my favorite. It has all 9 essential amino acids. So if you're going to pick a grain and you eat a lot of, you like that grain thing, I'm always like, do quinoa over rice or do quinoa over pasta because it's going to give you those 9 essential amino acids.
Okay. Marie has asked, what do you recommend to keep your energy level up throughout the day?
Well, B vitamins give you a lot of energy. So the vitamins that are water soluble, meaning you pee them out, B vitamins, C vitamin. So, they're cheap. They don't cost a lot. You can eat them. You can take some B vitamins if you need some. Like, that could be a supplement you take. And you pee it out if you don't need it. So I find that B vitamins do give you some good energy. And every so often I'll take a multi-B vitamin just to give myself some energy. Fueling throughout the day, sleeping well, eating a balanced diet, drinking water, those things all keep your energy levels up. I'm just looking to see if there's anything. Someone says, I'm diabetic and wondering if the keto diet would be good for me. Oh, man, that you have to ask a doctor about because I honestly don't know. But staying away from any kind of added sugar as a diabetic, I think is good. Although it depends on I don't know what kind of insulin you're taking. Like you might need sugar at certain points. So that's a big question. And Sam, do you have a general recipe for your air fryer veggies that you make? This person's new to the air fryer.
I actually do not have like a recipe that I follow a lot. It's a little bit of olive oil or avocado oil, and then I just throw on some salt, pepper, kind of that. So I keep it super general. There's nothing crazy about it. So.
Yeah, easy peasy. Someone says stop teaching keto. It's not good. I'm not teaching keto. I didn't say I liked it. I said it works for some people. I'm all about do what works for you, but be smart. I mean, be smart. Eat a balanced diet. I'm not a keto person because I'm not giving up a lot of some of the things that I love, and I like carbs. I love carbs, good carbs. So do your thing, people. You do you. All right, let's see. Oh, by the way, we're about halfway. Let's see, where are we? We're a little past halfway. I do want to mention to those of you who are watching. So first of all, we have a 60-day start challenge going on right now. A lot of people are on it.
Yeah.
Like more than 10,000. It was like 13,000. People are on this challenge. We're so happy you're doing it with us. We thought better than 30 days would be 60 days. So if you're doing it, we're so happy. Keep looking at that calendar. There are lots of links to click to healthy articles about nutrition and about stuff like that. Strength training and all that good stuff. So yay to the 60-day start. And the other really exciting thing is we have our first ever fitness weekend coming up for Get Healthy UTV. It's our first live event. Yep, you can see it right there. It is April 24th to the 26th here in the lovely, warm city of Minneapolis. It won't be bad by April, people. We have people coming from all over the country. We are about 2/3 to 3/4 of the way full. We can, we can take about 100-something people. It is a full-on weekend. This is not just a workout class. This is a fitness retreat where you are going to get workouts. We're going to do yoga. We're going to educate. We're going to have worksheets and workbooks. If you like talking about nutrition, we are going to talk a whole heck of a lot about nutrition. We're going to have social events. We're going to have team building and confidence building and mindset training. And I am like coming out of my skin excited about it. So if you would like to check it out, we're going to run a little video just to kind of show you some, a little bit about what it's about in this lovely city of Minneapolis. Do we have? Yep, there it is. People on Facebook were watching it. So it was just showing you a little bit about like what our group events look like. They're just fun. It creates a new kind of spirit in your heart too. Like you get renewed. If you need to really reclaim your health this year, if you're like, it's time for me to take care of me. I saw Oprah on Saturday and she said, be so full of yourself that your cup runneth over. And I was like, yes, that is my thing for 2020. And my word for 2020 is brave. That's my word this year. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to do things that are challenging. I'm not going to be afraid to try something new. So if you are looking to reclaim your health, check it out. Is there a link for them? They could check it out and sign up for the weekend. And I would love to meet you. And by the way, the other Get Healthy UTV trainers are all going to be there. It's not just me and Sam.
I'll be there too.
It's going to be all the, so if you want to meet Lindsay and Leah and Kate and Shelly, they're all going to be there. It's going to be super fun.
If you're watching on Facebook, it is in the comments already. We'll kind of sprinkle it in here and there. So.
And we'll give you on Instagram a link too. So. Okay, more questions. Let's keep going.
Do you have a recipe for a healthy salad dressing?
I do. Well, typically what I do is I don't even measure it anymore. I put olive oil, a little bit of vinegar. I'll use balsamic. I put Dijon mustard.
Okay.
I'll use typically I use dill, but you could use any seasoning that you want, and a little minced garlic, and I shake it up. And that is my go-to salad dressing. But we do have a recipe on gethealthyu.com for 4 homemade salad dressings that are super healthy. One of which is similar to the one I just told you. It's like a vinaigrette, but we have like a healthy ranch, and we have a healthy, I can't even remember, but there's 4 amazing ones. So check them out.
We will drop that in the comments as well. What is your favorite way to use quinoa?
I like quinoa just as, like with anything.
I do too.
But like, again, I like things that are like mixed together. It's funny, I have one friend who has to have everything separate on his plate. We have this one friend and he has to eat one thing at a time. Like they can't touch each other and stuff. I'm like, are you kidding? I just mix it all up. I love it. So I use quinoa in Buddha bowls with greens and grains, you know, where I'll put some greens, some veggies, mix it in. I have seen people who use quinoa for like oatmeal. Like in the morning, they'll add almond milk to it, heat it up, add a little cinnamon sugar, and use it like an oatmeal.
I didn't know that.
I put it in like burritos, and like if you're gonna make a homemade burrito, like your homemade chipotle, I'll do quinoa instead of any kind of rice. Then you add everything else on top of it. I use it as a side dish. We have some really good quinoa recipes on GetHealthyU.tv.
We do.
I mean on GetHealthyU.com.
Yep.
So I think I like the nutty flavor of it. Mm-hmm. Rice is kind of bland. Quinoa has a very nutty flavor to it. I love it.
Okay. Your best recommendations for healthy desserts. What is your favorite healthy dessert?
Sam's always like, do you really eat Halo Top?
I still haven't sent me a picture.
I know. I eat Halo Top all the time. Halo Top is a brand of, it's not ice cream. It's like a protein ice cream out in the marketplace. I love it so much because I love ice cream. I love sweets. So, I like to make, we have some recipes like homemade like energy balls. Yep. Or they call them bites, where you roll them and they're non-cooked, like you do like oats and ground up nuts
butter,
and or almond butter and like different coconut and stuff like that. Like I like stuff like that. I like for dessert, I like berries. I always mix in cacao chips, like they're about 65% cacao. If you can find anything over 65% is going to give you that healthy fat and be good for you. So it's what they call a monounsaturated fat, a MUFA. So I'll put in that with berries and almonds or pistachios. And I mix it in Greek yogurt or so Tina Fey was at Oprah this weekend, and she said, I put Cool Whip on top of bananas and pretend I'm eating a banana split. I'm like, well, Cool Whip is not so good for you. But hey, do what you got to do. That's what I typically do. I'll do berries, something like with a little bit of chocolate in there. And I love making healthy desserts. We have a bunch of really good healthy desserts.
We do have a lot of healthy ones.
As a matter of fact, I have a cookbook that is sold on GetHealthyU.tv. It's called Choose This.
Yep.
And we have some amazing desserts in that cookbook. The cheesecake in that cookbook, the bomb.
Ooh, we'll have to go check that out. We actually have somebody watching from Thailand. I just thought I'd point that out.
Wow, I love it.
Yeah.
The world has no borders. Awesome.
Okay, somebody said that you mentioned GMO versus non-GMO soy. Can you tell us the difference?
Genetically modified organism, GMO. So GMO crops, it's really, really a political thing and a social statement. So both sides of the table argue on it. There are some big companies in the United States who have taken over a lot of the crops that are the highly GMO'd crops: sugarcane, soy, beans, corn. Those are like the three biggies. And wheat is now becoming an issue, and it's the way they're farmed, it's the treatment of the farmers, it's the pesticides and herbicides that they spray on those products all the time that then are ingested by you. They are resilient to certain kinds of animals, but then there are pests, but then they do bad things inside. So I just, from a social standpoint and from a nutrition standpoint, I just don't like the GMO. It is definitely your own preference, but you will notice that some of the more healthier food companies are all going with non-genetically modified. Gosh, Whole Foods said that by 2018, they would only have non-GMO products. And then there was a ton of backlash from the food companies. They are major, they have power. Like they have power held over our government and over other companies. And Whole Foods did not stick to it. They said they couldn't. Well, part of the reason was because there was a food label change that was supposed to happen, and the government, the FDA, keeps putting it back. By 2018, all the labels were supposed to be changed, and then they said 2019. Now here we are, 2020, and they haven't been changed. So I don't know what will happen, but that's really the reasoning. So you have to kind of be your own advocate. There is a documentary out there called GMO OMG.
Oh.
It's a really good documentary. Check that out. Healthy fats. Not fats, somebody's saying. I don't know what she's talking about. Frozen, someone's asking, says frozen veggies roast well too. I bet in the air fryer they do.
Oh.
So good. And healthy fats are good for you, you guys, so keep on going.
Chris, you'll like this one. Thoughts about incorporating apple cider vinegar or lemon to your morning waters. Does it actually do anything for me?
Yeah, so lemon helps to alkaline your body. And whether you use lemon in the morning or in the afternoon or night, like that part doesn't really matter. I mean, just lemon is a good thing to add to your water. It helps to alkaline. We tend to be very acidic from all the pollution in the world and all of the stress we have and all of the, horrible air quality and then a lot of the foods we eat that have a lot of chemicals and stuff. So it's good for you. But it doesn't have to be morning. But the concept of water in the morning is a good concept. You'll talk to a lot of naturopaths and dietitians who will say, just flush your system when you get up in the morning. And so, if you haven't eaten in 10 hours or so, and then you drink a whole bunch of water, they just say it flushes your system. So that's a good idea. So I usually drink a bunch of water in the morning. I do apple cider vinegar in the morning. Now, apple cider vinegar is a fermented food. Fermented foods are good for your gut health and your gut biome. So, in your microbiome in your gut, actually you want healthy bacteria. Mm-hmm. So eating fermented foods is a good idea. Our society, our culture, the American culture, we just don't have a lot of fermented food in our culture. So now people are starting to pay attention. They're eating kombucha and kefir, which is a dairy product, and kimchi. You'll see that sometimes in salads, not so much.
Yeah.
I don't see it that often. But there are a lot of different fermented vegetables out there. Keep in mind that pickles are not fermented. Like pickling something and fermenting something are two different processes. But apple cider vinegar is the one fermented vinegar that you can drink. Like I would never just drink white vinegar. Oh, good Lord, no. But apple cider vinegar is fermented, so it's good for your gut health. For a lot of people, it helps to regulate blood sugar. It's an anti-constipation kind of a thing. There's a lot of really good benefits. Again, of course, we have an article about it on Get Healthy You. We have an article about everything. And so just read up on it. But I do two, and I put it in Instagram this morning. I do 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar every morning with just a little bit of water, drink it down. And do you?
No, I do not. I can't get over the taste. I've tried it.
You can't. Well, they say there's pills, and I don't know. Like people ask me all the time, do the pills work? And I have no idea, but I've got to believe they do.
Maybe I'll try it.
Yeah.
Okay, we have somebody asking, she hasn't worked out in a very long time. How would you suggest I get back into working out again?
So baby steps. You just have to take that first step. And you have to say, okay, I'm going to do this. But it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen quickly. And the results, let your body acclimate. Because probably the biggest fear for people who haven't exercised in a long time is injury. I mean, could possibly be the most common thing I hear is that people are like, I'm afraid to start exercising again because I'm going to hurt my knee or my hip or my back or whatever it might be. So let your joints acclimate. Start with something that's doable. Keep track. Journal it. If you start with 5 minutes a day, and things are going well and you go to 10 minutes a day, journal that. See how many days in a row. And then see, every week, can you add on? You will be super proud of yourself. If you're looking back on a calendar and you're like, holy cow, I went from 10 minutes to, half hour in the first month or whatever it might be. So do that. But let your body acclimate and start with cardio and strength. Add a little bit of both into your life slowly but surely. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to look on Instagram real quickly to see what people are saying. Just eat whole foods and don't eliminate unless you have allergies. Yep, I'm with you, girlfriend. Let's see. Can you lose weight doing macro counting? You absolutely can.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of the same idea. I actually like the idea of macro counting because I think people are getting then really in tune with what they're eating.
They're eating, yeah.
Someone said I drink half my protein shake before my workout, half after. Is that okay? Absolutely. You do want a little bit of fuel anyway before you work out, so that would be a great idea. Okay, go ahead.
Somebody said that she's noticed Noon has different types of tablets, sports, rest, vitamins. Any thoughts on which ones to get, and can you drink it more than once a day?
Yeah, so Noon, you guys maybe saw that on my Instagram today, on our Instagram, Noon, N-U-U-N. It's pronounced Noon, but it's N-U-U-N. It's an electrolyte tablet. It looks like an Alka-Seltzer, so you drop it in your water, and it gives you sodium, potassium, and magnesium. That's the same thing that's in Gatorade. Those 3 minerals are good for your body when you're working out, and they need to be replaced when you sweat a lot, and they give you energy. But it has no sugar in it, so instead of drinking a funky-colored Gatorade, you're just throwing this tablet in your water, and you're saving yourself a whole bunch of calories and chemicals. So I love Noon tablets. Noon, of course, has just your basic electrolytes. They have some that are called Sport, which I think have caffeine in them.
I think so too.
To like give you a little energy. I don't need extra caffeine, so I don't buy those because I love my coffee. And then they have a vitamin supplement that's literally just like a vitamin. It's like a tablet that gives you your vitamins. So, whatever works for you. I do the electrolyte supplement. I only do it once. I just do 1 tablet a day. You could do more if you needed to, but like from an expense standpoint, and they're cheaper than Gatorade, believe me.
Oh, absolutely.
But, I just feel like 1 is enough a day to replenish after my workout. So it's totally up to you. It's a great product though, you guys, and you can buy it at almost any grocery store.
Yeah. Do you buy peanut sauce or do you make your own?
I buy it. I'd like to say I make it, but I don't. I mean, I could. We do have a peanut satay recipe on gethealthyu.com. It is our recipe. It is by far it's called peanut satay or peanut marinade, spicy peanut marinade, I think. And it is so freaking good, and you use it on chicken, but I always save some of it, and then I use it as a drizzle or a salad dressing when I make it. But on a weekly basis, I just buy it at the grocery store. The brand I buy is, I wish I could tell you. I can't tell you. I can't remember.
I don't know.
It's non-GMO. It's lower sodium, blah, 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 but it's delicious. And yeah, there's a little bit of sugar in peanut sauce, but it's so delicious. I sprinkle it over everything. I buy it. If you live in Minneapolis, I buy it at Lund's.
Okay, we have a member watching, says she's 4.5 months pregnant. Yay. She has been able to keep up with a huge variety of GHUTV workouts. She said she's modified with some of the jumping and core moves, but are there moves or exercises that she should totally avoid?
Well, every pregnancy is different. It depends on if it's your first baby or whatever. And obviously, check with your doctor. We are not doctors, so I cannot give you that advice. But typically they say, when I was pregnant back 28 years ago, they said, whatever you've been doing for the last 6 months, you can continue doing if you feel good. And of course, if you're not at risk and you don't have any other issues going on. So if you look at our lovely trainer, Lindsey Baumgren, she was really active up until that 8th month.
Yeah.
A lot of people would be like, oh my gosh, she's jumping. But her body was fit for it and she was fine. Mm-hmm. So you have to see what feels good for you. Now, if you start to feel like, all that moving, the jumping or the core work, obviously the core work becomes worthless at some point when your belly gets a little bigger. But you don't have to do it, and don't do it if it doesn't feel good. But if it feels good, like Lindsay was jumping, then you can do it if your body can handle it. It's all about what feels good for you. You don't want to get your heart rate up too high because you just don't want to get lightheaded. And you want to make sure you're drinking water and listening to your body so you don't, get so lightheaded that you faint or that you feel not nauseous every pregnancy is so different. Some people are sick. Yep. I would say that we have a program called Baby Bump Fitness. Mm-hmm. It's a really great program for any of you prego moms or even postpartum. Yeah. When you're trying to get back into it and you're just, Lindsay filmed it with her first baby. Yeah. And it's really a great program. So listen to your body and just keep doing what feels good. And don't beat yourself up when you get to the point where you're like, nope, jumping isn't good for me, or I don't like this, or I don't like that. Then don't do it. I mean, the fact that you're actually exercising when you're pregnant, kudos to you. I love it.
Yep. Just a few minutes left, so probably time for about 2 questions that we have. And this one is non-nutrition related, but very interesting. Chris, what is your favorite thing about your career?
What is my favorite thing about my career? I would say helping people. Really, because I feel like when I was younger, I was like, okay, I love to communicate. Before there were computers and phones and stuff, I felt like that was my gift, like communicating with people and making them feel good. And I thought, okay, how am I going to use this gift? And I majored in journalism because that was of interest to me, communication, and there was no fitness back in the early 80s. So for me, it's the fact that I can hopefully help people feel comfortable in their own skin and say, yep, I can get moving, or yep, I can get a little healthier. And if someone says, oh, Chris, you inspired me to get moving today, or I like to work out with you, or you gave me some good knowledge, that would definitely be my favorite part of my career. And Oprah said, go with your passion, go with your purpose, do things that, make sure that you're aligning with that. And so, yeah, I would say that's my favorite. Hey, I just want to quickly say, too, that Instagram, if you guys cut off, hey, thanks for joining. It ends exactly, I only have 1 minute and 45 seconds remaining for all of you lovely Instagram people. So if you cut off, we'll see you later. Somebody's asking about best foods to get rid of belly fat right there. Yep. Again, we have an article about it. I mean, I sound like that commercial, whatever. There's an app for that.
There's an app for that.
So belly fat, typically as you get older, it gets a little bit harder, but processed carbs, sugar, processed carbs. Those are the two biggest problems for belly fat. Eliminate those from your diet, start exercising, and I have a feeling you'll see some changes.
Probably time for one more.
Okay.
We have a few people actually asking, are you planning on doing another whole body reset anytime soon?
Yes, finally we are doing it. We have been so busy.
We've been busy.
We have been so busy. We will be starting a new session finally in the beginning of May. Mm-hmm. We'll start talking about it in May. We're going to start talking about it at the end of April. There will be signups. Typically, if you're new to the whole body reset, it's a 7-week course that I teach and mentor, and you guys will work with me. It is online, and we meet as a group online too. It is covers mindset, meals, and movement. It goes really in depth. It's super exciting, and we open we talk about it. We open the cart. We shut it after 1 week, and whoever's in is in. And that's one of my favorite things to do, because then I'm really, talking with people directly, and I love it. So yep, it's coming.
Awesome.
So
we're at time.
Are we at time? So you guys, the fitness weekend is going to be so freaking fun. If you can join us, if it's in your financial wherewithal and you have the time, please come, because it's going to be epic.
Excited.
Yeah, it is. We're like, look at our swag bags. Look at our,
what else can we bring?
What else are we getting?
Yeah.
And to all of you who are doing the 60-day start, stay strong. Make sure you hashtag us. Yes. Hashtag 60-day start. Show us what you guys are doing. We love to see it.
Yep.
And of course, most important thing I tell you is, for all of you who are Get Healthy UTV members, thank you so much for trusting us with your workouts and your health. We really, really appreciate it. And we love being a part of your lives.
We do.
We do. So, all right, until next month, happy January.